Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine, and today I will be doing a twin flame reading using the Twin Flame Ascension Oracle deck by Dr. Harmony, illustrated by Tatiana Hassan. So if you would like to see a review of this deck, I have just created one, and I will put a link to that in the description box below if you would like to see all of their cards in all of their beauty. Okay, so what we're going to do today is what's called the Take Me Home Pathway. It is a spread that is written specially unique to this deck. Comes on this nice little map that was included. So we'll just, since it's the highlighted feature, we'll go with it. All right. It's a little like the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, but it's got 11 cards, not 10. So we'll just roll with this. We'll see where we go. So, twin flame, I'll break this down really quickly. It could mean a variety of relationships, soulmate relationships. It could, mean your relationship where you are connected at a soul level with a romantic partner, a dear friend, or family member. It can mean a partnership where you are very connected to somebody who you share kind of a mentorship, student relationship with, where both of you are in turn a mentor and both of you are in turn a student, but you have just a really strong soul connection with this person, kind of what they call, I think, a monadic twin flame. Or it can be talking about your relationship with yourself, that inner part of your conscious and your unconscious, your inner masculine, your inner feminine, how you are relating to a spiritual connection, either with yourself or another person in some facet. So that's kind of the 101 on twin flame. And now there's been tons of books, and there's people with YouTube channels and all kinds of interpretations of that out there that can relate to a vast variety of levels of relationship. But the fundamental, getting right down to the essence of it, is the idea, if you kind of, are, in sort of a cursory quantum physics interest, like, a lot of us are starting to see that intersection of science and spirituality, where science is finding evidence of things that we can't even really understand on a spiritual level, and quantum entanglement is kind of one of those things. And so this is sort of the idea that while quantum particles can be entangled with other distant quantum particles, we as a soul being can be connected to another soul being in ways that are a little bit mysterious. And, what human doesn't really like an interesting mystery, right? I mean, we're all intrigued by that. Or at least most of us are. I would say, an overwhelming majority of people are. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on the Take Me Home pathway. We're going to start out with 9-9 Olive, the High Priest. Now, this is 5 suits of 11 cards each. Each suit is a color. The color of this one is olive. The number is 9-9. The title is High Priest, and the subject is personal empowerment. And so we're going to begin with that at the base of our little diagram here. So let's switch cameras. I'm going to back way out for this. You're going to see all my table and probably my floor too. We'll all get over it. But this is kind of a big spread. So here we are down at the bottom of our tree with 9-9, the High Priest. Okay. So our first card is the Surrender card. What shadows do we need to release? And that is this one. So we'll look this up. That's an Oracle deck thing. I do look up my Oracle decks. So let's see what it says for High Priest. When the High Priest appears, he brings with him the key of life, which unlocks the hidden mysteries within your soul. This allows you to take back your power and align with your highest destiny. You are becoming an enlightened leader with a desire to achieve your ultimate life filled with love, passion, peace, and joy. Stay rooted in your inner power. It will lead you toward the life you're meant to live. And for me, in my guidebook, I colored the corners of each page with the suit so that I could quickly reference. Otherwise, it doesn't really tell you what the suit is in the book. So, a little quick reference there. And a tip if you happen to get this deck or like using this deck. Okay, so this is what we need to surrender to is our personal empowerment. And empowerment also means personal responsibility. And I think that's why this has to be kind of a surrender rather than an embrace. Because a lot of people have a difficulty embracing responsibility. But we need to surrender so that we can kind of come into alignment. And this is sort of, it's a little bit of giving up control, which seems the opposite of empowerment, but empowerment doesn't mean controlling. It can kind of mean learning how to surf the energy of a situation. Okay, card number 2, spiritual awakening. And this is red 3/3 soul merger, ebb and flow. Gonna come up. So red 3/3 soul merger. You're experiencing soul merger with spiritual realms of liquid love, an invisible connection between you and source energy that joins with you and with your beloved. Now, like I said, the beloved can be another person, can be yourself. This card reminds you there's no separation between you and true love. Focus on finding balance within, and will create an ebb and flow in your harmonic exchange of giving and receiving unconditional love. And that's kind of a common theme. There's a giving and receiving in a twin flame situation. Giving, receiving love, giving, receiving knowledge, giving, receiving inspiration. It's something that helps you to feel better and make progress in your spiritual journey. A lot of people get into challenging relationships and it becomes a negative cycle of trying to overcome, trying to overcome, trying to overcome, and that's not what is going to help find an enlightened path or a holistic well-being. Anyway, step 3, raise your frequency. We're going to raise our frequency with gray 7/7 heal abandonment. Time to forgive. Yeah, and that's definitely looks like a an easy interpretation right there. Time to forgive, healing abandonment. What's gray? Oh, 7/7 healing abandonment. It's funny, I found the page and then I lost the page. There we go. You have experienced abandonment in multiple lifetimes. Wounded stories are subconsciously causing you intense soul pain that makes you easily triggered when you experience rejection or unrequited love. And, I caution people with the whole twin flame thing that if you're equating this to being just a romantic relationship, you could have a lot of unrequited love because that may not be the lesson that's in this for you, just as a caution. Let go of your old identity is painful because you experience the death of your former self and patterns, yet it is necessary for you to create space for your new identity. So, raising your frequency is involving creating space for your identity, which means you have to let go of some things that are not productive for your current development. Number 4, transformation. 1/1 aqua, surrender, dark night of the soul. Aqua is the 11 steps in the Take Me Home Ascension pathway. Mastering the ability to surrender is crucial to moving beyond the dark night of the soul and helping you veer away from false illusions. This card suggests that you take ownership of your choices and responsibility for your actions and make better decisions going forward. Over time, your reality will align with your higher state of being. Let go of self judgment and expectation of others. Instead, stand in your own power to awaken your truth and liberate your soul. So part of transformation is surrendering to the process, because we can't get there the way we are now. Because if we could, we'd already be there. You understand? So there's process. There's things that we have to uh, change and grow and move with. We can't just sit still and expect anything else to change. We have to change ourselves. We have to grow. We have to do this growth. And it takes a lot of work, and sometimes it is. It's very painful. It's very painful to face your fears, to face your regrets, to face your shortcomings and your inadequacies and your angers and your triggers and all of these things that make up the dark side of our personalities, and release them. And it's step by step. All right. 5, breakthrough. Twin flame facilitator. Olive 4-4, expansive growth. So look at here. Twin flame facilitator. A twin flame facilitator shows up to keep you moving forward along the ascension journey. This connection mimics your twin flame relationship in a positive way. Similar to your twin flame, they become a mirrored reflection, assisting you with connecting and expanding your higher self. A facilitator is unlike a false twin flame, whose primary role is to help you clear your lower self karmic patterns. So, false twin flames help you clear your lower self karmic patterns, usually by modeling something that's very unpleasant in your own personality that you have to deal with. The twin flame facilitator is somebody who's mirroring you in a positive way. Most often, they're more awakened than your true twin flame. Typically, a facilitator is someone that has yet to reunite with their own twin flame. Coming into alignment with them is divinely orchestrated, so make sure to let go of outcomes and stay present. That's really great advice for so many path working. So much path working is about letting go of outcomes and staying present. Your energy exchange will continue until your soul frequencies no longer align at the same vibration, which will complete your mission together, causing you to go forward on separate paths. So yeah, that's super interesting, because I mean, so often you meet people in your life and you really have a great relationship with them, and you feel like you grow, and it's really really positive, until all of a sudden they're kind of just not in your life anymore, and you may not even have noticed that you guys just drifted apart. But there are relationships that we have for reasons, there are relationships that we have for seasons, and there's relationships we have for lifetimes. And so your twin flame facilitator is a person who's in your life for a reason. And when you have completed that reason for each other, then you're kind of like safe to drift apart and then have other relationships with other people and bring that knowledge that you've learned from each other and share it. So that's a way the relationship lives on, in the fact that you learned from it, you were a better person from it, and while you may not be in a relationship with that person anymore, you still love them. And if you did ever run into them, it'd be like one of those, like you'd never have been apart, and you would just kind of pick up where you had left off. So yeah, there's your twin flame facilitator, which is part of your breakthrough. So look at some of your relationships and see how they may apply to that. Could be. All right, step 6, integration. Red 9-9, unification, aligning with abundance. So look to the table. We have too many things on the table. We're going to run out of room. All right, 9-9, unification, aligning with abundance. Attracting abundance requires that you become one with self, creating unification of your soul. To achieve this, you have to release old stories and reprogram your belief systems. Doing so will provide balance in your thoughts and feelings and allow emotions to align with your actions. This raises your energetic frequency and helps you shift into an abundant life. Always choose love over fear. It will keep you feeling lighter in the moment. So, as we are integrating, what information do you need to process more thoroughly to gain greater clarity? Is really we need to align with abundance. So, in short, we're going to look at aligning with abundance as having that mindset of success, having that mindset of deserving abundance, of seeing the abundance that already exists in your life. So that's kind of like three facets to that. You have to see what's there. You have to believe that you deserve it, and then you have to align with what else wants to come in to your life. Step 7, rebirth. Olive 1-1, karmic relationship. Karmic relationship. So looking at this, it's a time to look deeper within. What do you need to release to rise above your situation? So let's look at olive. Courtships that will facilitate your soul's expansion is the olive suit. Karmic relationships are generally romantic in nature, and these partners present themselves to help you release your past. Typically, these soul teachers show up to help you release toxic relationship patterns related to unrequited love. Let's go to the conclusion. Make a decision to leave behind old love stories that caused you to chase after the adrenaline rush of roller coaster love. I would say that that's probably not love. If you're on the roller coaster rush, that is infatuation. Could be affection. This will free you to move forward into healthy relationships. And so that is really, really an important point. Let's talk. Because a lot of times people get into that infatuation cycle. And the infatuation cycle is fun because it's a fantasy, it's an illusion. You get into the infatuation cycle and you can do that very easily because you don't really know the person. You may know a few things about them that you like, a few things about them that are attractive, but you really don't know the person. And so there's this inherent ability and inclination to start filling in the blanks that you don't know with everything you would like to be true, all of the things you want to be true. And those could be positive and negative things. Um, it could be a positive thing that you just want to have in your life, or something um, that you've liked about other people, or a transference of, oh, this person you're infatuated with reminds you of an old friend. Oh, I'm going to apply what I know about an old friend who shared a similar characteristic and place it on this person. And that may not be the right fit. It may not be the truth. It may be a similarity. It may be completely different. And you won't know that because you're too busy being infatuated. So um, this is a card and a time to that indicates it's time to let go of the infatuations. It's time to let go of the assumptions that you've made and the transferences that you've made about a particular facet of attraction. And it's time to really examine what's true. And that involves examining yourself about, what do I believe is true and what do I actually know is true? And there's a lot of questions you have to ask yourself about that. And then in turn, there's questions you have to ask the other person of, oh, hey, what do you think about this? What do you like about this? What do you dislike about this? And sometimes, questions can seem awkward, but I had some friends who had met on one of the dating apps. They're mature people, people, in their, I think they're in their 40s at that point. They're in their 50s now, and they've been married for a number of years. So obviously the dating app worked out. But and this was the him half of the relationship. He came up with this idea is like, okay, each date we have, one person gets to take turn asking questions. So date number one, he's like, ask me any question you want. Date number two, he got to ask her any questions. And he would come up with some really interesting questions. And one of the ones he shared with me was, okay, well, how many bottles of product do you keep in your shower? And she's like, boy, is that a weird question. And she's like, oh, I got some body wash, I got some shampoo, I got some conditioner. What a weird question. Well, the reason why he asked this question was because his paradigm was anybody, any woman who had more than, say, 4 bottles of product in their shower was going to be too high maintenance. Because he's like, if you've got the body wash and the shampoo and the conditioner, yeah, that's normal. That's normal. But if you start having the super exfo scrub and then the x this and that and the other and he's like, if you got too much in there, he's like, I can't with that. Because he's like, I'm a simple guy. I need a simple gal. I don't need anybody who's gonna be super complicated. And if you have some sort of super shower or beauty routine, he's like, yeah, I know that's not gonna work for me. But he didn't make the assumption. He didn't look at this woman and say, oh, I bet she's got a lot of stuff in her shower, or oh, she seems to be, pretty down to earth. She's probably just, he didn't make the assumption. And that's the point of what I'm trying to make here. Don't make assumptions because those will bite you in the booty. Okay. Point belabored. Oh my gosh. Okay. Card number 8. We got to get through this. One with self. Red 1111, take me home. Pathway to true love. All right. Let's here. Pathway to true love. Pathway to true love. Card number 8. All right. What's red 11 11 11? I mean, that's the twin flame number 1111. When you align with real love, it will always lead you home, a journey into your heart where you discover true self-love. And that's kind of what I was talking about in the review. One of the points I made is that true love is the love that you have for yourself, that you are then able to love other people. A lot of people who have trouble loving other people really have a fundamental problem of loving themselves because they can't deal with what they've perceived, their perceived inadequacies, their perceived shortcomings, their regrets, their unrealistic expectations of themselves. Then they have a hard time, conveying anything else to other people. And that is so many of us have those issues. I think I would almost venture to say that every living person has that problem. Now, if there's somebody out there who is like one step away from becoming a Buddha, maybe they don't have that problem anymore, but they had to go through it. The Take Me Home card serves as a reminder to embrace your journey with gratitude because your heart is now free to live fearlessly. Gratitude, oh my gosh. Here we are, coming back. Gratitude is probably the single most important thing that you can experience. And I'll tell you why. Because it changes every bad, negative, perhaps even horrifying experience into a potential of saying, this experience helped me to be the person I am. And if you are in a place where you're having that true self love, where you can truly love yourself, then you can be grateful for the negative things in your life because they helped you be that person, the thing that you can love. And maybe you love yourself or you can love yourself because you're an overcomer, because you have overcome maybe something very, very arduous or difficult in your life. It is extremely, I mean, depending on your life, it can be extremely hard place to get to. And if you have had very, very difficult circumstances in your life, therapy is a really beautiful way to be able to reconcile and compartmentalize the things that have happened to you or even things that you've done that you regret. Therapy is like professional therapists. I'm not talking about just woman on YouTube. I read a lot of self-help books, but it does make me a therapist, right? So, depending on your level, I think a lot of us can just if we can get that point of self-awareness to step back from a problem, to be able to look at it objectively and to be able to frame it and understand it and then be grateful for it, a lot of us can move forward just in a sense of awareness. But if you're really having trouble with getting that perspective, therapy is a really great way to go. And there's so many options out there. I'm not paid by any of those therapy companies online, but you see advertisements for them all the time. So it's super, super accessible these days, which is great. You know, people need anything from rent a friend to serious psychotherapy to address um, chronic issues. So there's a whole spectrum there, and if you feel that you would benefit from it, do it. Do it. Don't sit there and wonder, oh, should I get some therapy? Should I not get some therapy? I really have trouble loving myself. If you're having trouble loving yourself, if you're having trouble reconciling your decisions, or you're having trouble with overwhelming regret, get some perspective from a professional. That's my plug. Okay, card 9, harmonize. We're going to harmonize now. Go beyond illusion. Wow, that's what we were just talking about. Gray 6-6. Change your perception. Oh, you think I looked at these in advance? And I did not. Just going with it right now. So, card 9, going beyond illusion. 6-6-7-6. All right. Move beyond your limitations and view your journey through the lens of your heart. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs send signals into the universe in relation to the frequency of your emotional state. That's kind of what we were talking about here with aligning with abundance. Shift your focus beyond the illusion of perceived obstacles, releases unnecessary struggles, making it easier to let go of old stories, programmings, or belief systems that belong to others. Kind of going back a little bit backwards through our pathway here, but it's kind of affirming that for you. Yeah, the belief systems that belong to others, what other peoples have put on you about what they believe about the world, what they believe about your friends, what they believe about your relationships, what they believe to be true about you, and it could be all baloney. So that's all about stepping back and getting the perspective, getting that separation and seeing things for what they are. Marcus Aurelius. The first rule is to keep an untroubled mind. The second is to see things for what they are. All right. Step 10. Enter your vortex with Amber 8-8. Honor your agreement. Mission in motion. Purpose. Purpose helps us focus. We all need purpose. We get big purposes, little purposes. We've got to have something to aim for. Before you were incarnated, you created an agreement with every single person you would come into contact with. These prearranged appointments were scheduled to occur at precise times to orchestrate necessary experiences for personal growth. In addition, you choose these lessons to help others. Taking action will honor your assignment and transform your pain into purpose, therefore, setting your mission into motion. Yeah. Repetitive lessons indicate the need to identify and release karmic patterns. So, identifying and releasing karmic patterns. I remember having this conversation with, God, back in college, with with one of my roommates, and she was taking a psychology class. She's actually a doctor now, so I'm sure that's come into to play a lot in her life as she's dealing with patients and trying to, what's your real problem? She's family practice, so she's the gatekeeper of trying to figure out what people's problems really are and how to really get them the right kind of help, which is so very important. And she's an amazing person. Anyway, um, yeah, so talking about purpose, talking about releasing patterns. First, you have to be able to step back and see what your patterns are. If you keep getting into, oh, I'll go with a real popular YouTube topic. I'm in a relationship with a narcissist. Oh my God, there's so many narcissists today. Everybody's just into themselves, blah, blah, blah. And everybody knows them. You probably got one in your family. Yeah, that difficult family member. Oh my God. Yeah. Had a few of those in my family. And I've seen some of them just stewing it until they died, and I've seen some of them have some breakthroughs and be able to realize, no, I'm not the center of the universe. And, maybe I need to do things to make my relationships better. So I wouldn't write anybody off ever, because nobody is just any one thing, and nobody is doomed. There's always a way. Sometimes it may take medication, but there's always a way. Anyway, so finding those patterns, releasing those patterns, seeing them for what they are, and then being able to see what moves you towards your purpose. Mission in motion. Okay. Mission accomplished. Step 11, 1010. Divine creativity. Receiving cosmic intelligence. One more look at the board here. 1010. We made it. Card 11. Receiving cosmic intelligence. I find this very interesting because this is something that's indicating we're able to tap into knowledge that's greater than ourselves. Your higher soul holds the template of your unique blueprint. You are encoded with cosmic intelligence to discover who you really are and what you came here to do. All you need to do is stay connected to joy in order to attract the support you need from the universe. If you're feeling uneasy about the direction of your life or your purpose, this card suggests that you stop resisting the thoughts, feelings, and ideas. It's time to say yes to your journey and divine creativity as you funnel your energetic flow towards your intentions that grant you joyful presence of your divinity. If you activate this inner divine intelligence and release resistance, it will reveal exactly what you came here to do. So, yeah, see if we can move a little bit. Yeah, we can just about see the full spread. Okay. So, yeah, it all kind of culminates in that idea of a sense of purpose. And that can be some of those exercises like the 5 whys. I do this why, I do this why, I do this why. Why do I feel this why? And sometimes getting through those 5 whys really does help you identify your inner motivations. And knowing what your inner motives are can lead you to finding your sense of divine purpose. So, yeah, this is something that I really feel that this deck is good at helping you connect to yourself. A lot of people are looking at Twin Flame. It's like, oh, how do I find my true love? Oh my God, and it's just, okay, stop it. And it is true for some people. That is true for some people. But I think for the vast majority of us, our twin flame pathway is trying to find that connection to self, to higher self, and finding that sense of divine purpose. And by divine purpose, I don't mean that we have to go out and be Jeff Bezos and rework how how marketing is done in the entire world. I mean, if you think about Amazon.com, and Jeff Bezos started out with selling books out of his garage, and then he has completely, with a team of people that he has assembled and with his vision, has changed how things are how shopping works in the world at this point. I'm not saying we have to be that. And there's a lot of people out here who are like, oh God, Jeff Bezos is too rich and he's too successful and blah blah blah. And they want to diss on Jeff Bezos for being successful. It's like, okay, take your jealousy and shelve it. I don't have anything against Jeff Bezos. I don't have anything particularly for him, except for that he had an amazing business vision that paid off, which is really remarkable. I don't know him as a person. I don't know much about his personality. So, um, what I'm saying though is that we don't have to have a worldwide vision. A lot of people try to have a worldwide vision and fail at it because there's a few people that are going to have a worldwide vision. There's a few people who are going to become world leaders, who are going to become business leaders, who are going to become innovators, and that's great. We need some people to be able to do that, but most of us are going to be able to figure out how to innovate in our community, how we're going to innovate in our family, how are we going to innovate in our neighborhood. Most of us are called to local action, and that is beautiful. A lot of people are like, oh, local, it's so small, it's too small for me. Well, shelve your jealousy, shelve your baloney, put it put it on the shelf, deal with it, look at it and call it for what it is. It's baloney, because most of us are called to local action. I've got a friend who drives an elementary school bus. She's a fascinating person. She's done all kinds of stuff with her life. And what she's doing right now, I mean, she's got little kids. So she's like, yeah, I drive the school bus. She's like, it gives me something to do. It gives me interaction. It gives me a sense of purpose. And she loves it. She loves working with the kids. And, it gives her plenty of free time because then, she spends her day as a personal trainer and then she goes drives the bus again. And, she's got a life that um, is vibrant and interesting, but she didn't feel like she had to wake up one morning and be Jeff Bezos or, a Hollywood producer or um, a president of a country. No, she's like, I'm finding purpose right here. I woke up this morning, I'm like, man, I'm going to read me some tarot for people because I'm finding my purpose right here, right now. Thank you for being part of my purpose. I appreciate you being here. I hope this has helped you. And, it, finding our purpose it doesn't have to shake the world. It just has to help one person. And maybe this has helped you, and I hope that's the case. If so, please hit like in below the video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I will continue to make videos because, like I said, I find purpose in it. And I hope you find your purpose too. And share that purpose with the people who matter most to you. All right. I hope this has helped you. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.